Welcome back to 9 on your side at 7. FC Cincinnati's magical ride comes to an end. The team lost to the New York Red Bulls in last night's semifinal game of the U.S. Open Cup. But despite the loss, one thing's for sure. This has been an exciting ride for FC Cincinnati fans. Lots of fans are already looking ahead to the future with questions. Will the team join Major League Soccer? And if they do, where will they play? Many fans say Nippert Stadium is the perfect fit. Thousands of fans were at last night's game. The soccer club's general manager and CEO, Jeff Birding, has said that he's been consistent with his stance. He has called Nippert an implausible option as an MLS stadium. Under MLS rules, a team needs to have its own soccer-specific stadium. The team is looking at several options, several different locations to build a stadium, and that will come at the expense of taxpayers.
A winning site, a site that helps us bring the MLS to Cincinnati.
Tonight, a local citizens group is pressing MLS officials to accept Nippert Stadium as FC Cincinnati's home should they join MLS. Joining me now is Jeff Capel, the chairman of No More Stadium Taxes. So Birding says that Nippert would be implausible. You say what?
If you look at the last three matches they've had against MLS opponents, they've drawn nearly 100,000 fans to the stadium. That would rank third in Major League Soccer, and that average is significantly higher than all of these soccer-specific stadiums that Major League Soccer wants to push new teams into.
Well, a soccer-specific stadium would actually be smaller than Nippert, correct?
By a lot, most likely.
Okay. So, you know, we talk about the cost of something like this, and we've heard around the $200 million mark. You're saying it would be more.
Right, they've cited $200 million for the stadium itself, but that does not include the land. It doesn't include additional parking. It doesn't include any utilities work that has to be done. And when you want to build in an urban environment, as MLS and FC Cincinnati want, those costs are not cheap. So this is going to be well above $200 million.
In your estimation, what would an MLS stadium bring that Nippert doesn't?
I'm not sure it really brings anything. When you look at the success that Nippert Stadium has had in their MLS matches, whether it's bringing lots of fans to the stadium, when you look at the electric atmosphere that's there, when you see that literally every single person on TV, radio, or in person you talk to love the atmosphere there, what you've got there works. I don't know what a new stadium is going to bring that Nippert doesn't already bring, and then some.
There had been talks that there could be modifications of Nippert. Would those be cost prohibitive, and what would they be?
Yeah, they really haven't released a lot of details on exactly what additional modifications they would need. But look at it this way. They're talking about $200 million plus for a stadium, which they're already willing to invest $100 million in. It wouldn't cost but a fraction of that just to upgrade Nippert. So they can improve on an already great stadium and pocket most of that $100 million that they've already raised for a new stadium.
Speaking of which, your organization eyes where that money could potentially go otherwise. So if it didn't go to a new stadium, what could it benefit?
Lots of things. Hamilton County Commissioners have recently released a list of the capital needs they're facing over the next few years. So if you look at transportation, you're looking at the Western Hills Viaduct, which really needs a solution. A lot of people talk about the Brent Spence Bridge. You could go down to the banks. That needs a lot more work. And they also want to put the caps on top of Fort Washington Way. If you look at the county itself, we need solutions on heroin. There's issues with the jail, with the crime lab, the coroner's facility, and even county buildings themselves are about $120 million or more behind. So instead of wasting this money on another taxpayer-funded stadium, you could still get a lot of this work done, except on buildings that the county owns and obviously needs to be maintaining.
Your list is long. Jeff, thank you for joining us and sharing your perspective. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you can find all of our coverage on the future of FC Cincinnati right now on WCPO.com.